Yo, what is going on, guys? This is Swerve here and welcome back to another Jurassic World Evolution video. So in today's Jurassic World Evolution video, we're going to sort of go relatively calm in this video. You can see nice gameplay I was playing throughout my replay of my PC version. And we're just going to go over it and see how I think the game's islands have done in my perspective. Because at the moment we have a very nice number of 10 islands currently in the game. We have Isla Takano. Wait, let's start off by going, island rating. So you have Isla Matasaros, Isla Muerta East. Then you wait, Matasaros, Muerta East. You have Isla Takano Research. You have Pena. Then you have Sauna. Then you have Nublar Sandbox, Nublar North, and Sanctuary Island. So we have a really nice 10 questions right there. And yeah. 10 islands, and I really love the idea of that. Before maybe a 1993 DLC, I want to try and get these videos out so I can give you my personal rankings of the islands from 1 to 10. I'm going to start off with let's say 10 being the worst, so I'm going to have to go from the bottom of my kind of script to the top of my script. But yeah, so we're going to get into it now, and my top 10, well, my 10th favorite, basically my least favorite island in Jurassic World Evolution is currently the Isla Takano Research Facility. The reason why I don't really like the Isla Takano Research Facility is simply because it has really horrid missions. The only good thing I like about it is that it's quite flat and it's relatively good to build on. That's definitely something that's going to increase the odds of me liking the island. But alongside those hard missions and horrid missions that you have to do it on an island that's very small as well. I'm not too keen on it because it's just a really small island, and you also have a very generic shape, so it's just open really. That's quite boring in my opinion. I quite like others, like where they're round or something like that, so you can build alongside edges. And it's almost always set at night during the missions until you unlock that day-night cycle or choose the time of day. Then it's almost always set at night, which is again disappointing. Like, it's just something that's not really it doesn't really appeal to me. You can even see when I'm watching movies, I'm not a big fan of movies that constantly happen at nighttime. I don't know, it takes away big factors, like maybe dusk, dawn, morning, those sort of things, they're fine, but when it's dead in the night, I don't really like it that much. It just doesn't give off much vibrance and colour. I'm not a fan of it, and simply because this island, overall, I do think it's quite boring, if I were to be honest. So this is rank 1 out of 10 for my least favourite. Simply because it's boring, it's got really bad missions, not really great. Yeah, it's flat and it's good to build on. But again, it's too small and it's just a generic shape, and it's pretty much always set at night until you unlock that day-night cycle. So particularly, Isla Takano Research Facility is number 10, my least favourite. So, moving on to number 9. And it's following a pattern so far with islands set at night. This is Isla Pena. Isla Pena, yeah, it's really nice to build on Sandbox. It's definitely something that's really good. I enjoy building on Sandbox. And another good thing is that you have very unique enclosure ideas. So obviously you have, let's say you have the entrance section, which is very small, you can't really build enclosures. Then you have the main section where it goes off to 2 separate parts, and you have the down south section, which again you can build nice enclosures on, because it's like very rigid across the edges, and it's just unique. You can sort of do new little enclosures. That's what I quite like about Isla Pena, but it's just overshadowed by the fact that the weather is absolutely horrible with tornadoes pretty much every 5 minutes, and bad storms that make your dinosaurs break out. I'm just not a big fan of that, you know what I mean? And again, it's just too small of an island, but that's fine because it's Isla Pena. I understand why it's going to be too small, but again, just building on it is pretty much too small of an island. And with that being such a small island, we get loads of terrain constraints, and having loads of terrain constraints isn't really my idea. It's not my cup of tea. Like, I prefer to just have just being able to place my buildings where I want to place them. But because we have these horrible terrain constraints, it happens nearly everywhere in Isla Pena, so it's not really the best. There's too many storms too frequently, so you get bad weather like thunder and tornadoes, and they alternate every 5 minutes that you get them, and it's just not great. And that basically means that it's not safe to have large carnivores, because large carnivores have a very small comfort threshold, and for the duration of how long these horrible weather sections go on for, these carnivores aren't going to be happy, and they'll almost always break out, which is very annoying. So that's why I don't really like Isla Peña, but that's why it comes as a number 10, because at least it's got something going. You know, it's not that boring of an island. You can build unique enclosures, and it's really good for sandbox as well. But coming in at number 8. Now, loads of people will probably be a little bit controversial or on the fence about this, but I am going to say Isla Muerta. The reason why, let's start with the good things. It's very good to build on the south side and let's say, I want to say west side. Yeah, about the south side and the west side. Those two areas are really nice to build on. They're sort of flat sort of thing and they have a nice overview. One leads into the beach, one leads onto a cliff looking out to the beach. I quite like that. It's really nice to build on Isla Muerta when you are on those sections. And even in the middle section when you're in the flat area, it's really nice. But again, it's too rocky, and what I mean by too rocky is that it's too up and down. It's too rigid. You constantly have to mess around with terrain. There's a lot of money that you're going to have to use before we had sandbox, and it wasn't the greatest to build on, and I wasn't a big fan of it. It's not an island that I would go back to and build on, simply because if I don't have to, I won't. You know, it's just I didn't really have much fun and joy in all of my playthroughs on Isla Muerta. I was like, oh great, Isla Muerta, let's rush through this, let's try and get through this as fast as possible, because it's just an island I didn't really like. I don't know, I just didn't really like it, and again it comes with too many terrain constraints. So it's a little pattern here. If you have terrain constraints, if you have a different time of day, if you just can't really build nice things like you want to build, then you're going to go quite low on this list. But yeah, so coming in at number 8 is Isla Muerta. Now, number 7, again, kind of a controversial one. We are going to be talking about Isla Nublar Sandbox Edition. So not Isla Nublar North. This is the standard Isla Nublar that we had since release, really, as sandbox. What I do like about it is that it's very open. It's very open of an island, and not only that it is an open island, you do have that sort of off section that goes off into like a little area, so it can be sort of unique at the same time. It's quite flat, so when you are flattening the island, there's not really much you have to flat down, so that's quite good. It's quite easy. Very spacious as well. I believe it's our biggest island in the game, I think, if we were to talk about that. I don't know if I can, but I believe it's like 9 kilometers squared and around that like measurement. So it's very spacious and open, and I really like that. And there's lots to build with, and yeah, it's lots to build with, so you can pretty much place anything you want to place. Like some images you're probably seeing is the Isla Nublar sort of rebuild Jurassic World sort of thing, you know, and that's what I really like about it, is that it's very open and it's really nice to build on it. However, again, because it's like a little bit generic, it's very boring sort of thing, and since we've had it since launch, it is quite boring, and that's why ever since this new sandbox mode, it's sort of upped the critique of how I'm looking at it. And I don't know if that's a good thing, I don't know if that's a bad thing. But number 7 is Isla Nublar Sandbox. Now number 6, I probably could have put further up this list, but thinking about the others that are on this list, I think it is where it's deserved. And number 6 is Manchester United. Now, I'm joking. I'm sorry to any Manchester United fans out there. Or am I? Yeah, that's the question. I'm joking. Okay, so number 6 is Isla Sorna. Now, for Isla Sorna, I'm pretty much going to start to get into the positives, because it's really hard to pick negatives out of these islands. Yes, Isla Sorna could have been bigger with that island and all of that. But at the end of the day, it's still pretty much... It's an open space. You have 3 nicely divided open sections. So you can have a carnivore section, you can have a herbivore section, you can have a sauropod section. And that's what I quite like, because you can build with different things, theme your park around certain things in certain areas. And I quite like that about Isla Sorna. And when you are building it on Sandbox, it is amazing. Oh my god, it's great because it's relatively flat at the same time, but when it's not flat, you can make so many nice natural looking enclosures that I really do enjoy it. And I think it's like the absolute best thing that we can go for. So that's why at number 6 I do think Isla Sorna is well suited there. But this is going to start becoming more of a positives. I'm not going to look at the negatives really. If I think of negatives throughout this, I will say them, but I think most of these are pretty much positives. But in number 5 we have another DLC island, or map shall I say, and it is Isla Nublar North. Isla Nublar North, huge building space. It's a absolute huge building space. This is why it gets me confused as to why Isla Nublar Sandbox is classed technically as our biggest island, because Isla Nublar North, shall I say, is just simply huge. Like, the only way we were able to build with it was on challenge mode, and with this being on challenge mode, it was pretty hard to build on because we had to justify with the money and how much everything will cost and everything like that. But now that we have it on Sandbox, we don't have to worry about that. And playing it on Sandbox, it's incredible. Oh, bellissimo! It's so nice just to be able to have two sort of like entry points. You can build from the north, you can build from the south, you can build around. You don't have to worry about that crap, and that's what I quite like about it. Is that it's very calm, relaxing, and it's just a big place, and it has an amazing natural landscape. The natural landscape just looks incredible because obviously the dinosaurs were roaming on it, so they pretty much focused on the natural landscape. But it just looks really good, and I love it. But yeah, so that's the Isla Nublar North, and moving on to number 4. Now you probably can sort of guess where this is going, sort of thing. But Isla Takano is at number 4. This is because it is relatively flat in some areas. So in the main area, the north area and the south area, you have relatively flat places. And then sort of more south of the main area, you have sort of a place where it's like a bit rigid, but I like to put my like hadrosaur exhibits there and make it look really natural. But that's what I quite like about it. It's nicely spaced out. So instead of like Isla Sauna's like really small sort of gaps to get through to the other sections, it's quite spaced out, so you have enough for buildings, paths and everything like that, and unique exhibit ideas as well. That's what I quite like about it being all spaced out, and it's quite big of an island. But another important thing here is that it has really nice weather. It's just rain and it's calm, you know. So you have let's say you're playing through the playthrough, you have Isla Mataceros, a really nice calm place. Then you have Isla Muerta, which is very stormy but then can be calm. And you have Isla Takano, so after you settle with storms, you can then settle with Isla Takano, work with Isla Takano, and see how it goes from there, and sort of not get bombarded by these storms all the time, especially that you do unlock good dinosaurs, so essentially like the Tyrannosaurus Rex that you unlock there, and I believe the Deinonychus as well. So those are 2 dinosaurs that are really good for your park ratings. But finally, I just love the scenery of it, you know, just with that big pool of water that we can't really have access to until Aquatic DLC, maybe. I highly doubt it, but yeah, if we were to have like a mosasaur swimming in that would be like the best thing ever. If I were to be honest, that'd be insane, and I could only hope for, because I highly doubt that's ever going to happen in Jurassic World Evolution, so we'll have to wait and see about that. But it still adds for really nice scenery, and I do love it. So coming in at number 3, 3 more islands left to go. Wow, this video is going quite quick, a lot quicker than I thought. But 3 more islands left to go, and I have mentioned it in my previous one, and this is Isla Mataceros. The reason why I like Isla Mataceros, it has perfect weather, it has nice natural landscapes to build on, it's a great start island, lots of space when you clear out the trees, and you can build unique enclosures. That's what I really love about it, and what I mean by perfect weather. Again, you only get light rain, you don't get any of those horrible storms, and it still looks really nice. You have nice natural landscape, so the original enclosure you're given, that landscape looks incredible and looks really nice and natural. You have lots of space when you clear out the trees, so essentially you think, oh, it's a small starter island, but actually when you clear out the trees and you build it on Sandbox the way you want to build it, it's a really nice island. It really is. It looks adorable, it's nice. It's not too big, not too small, but enough to build like unique stuff, and that's what I like about it as well. And again, with the unique stuff, it's just because you have that small mountain in the middle, you can still build around the mountain and make your enclosures look quite unique. So that's why I like Isla Mataceros. It's definitely a great start island if you ask me, and I'm really, really loving it. It's definitely somewhere that I like to build my sandboxes as well. So coming in at number 2. Now you know, or you probably realise that the next 2 are both DLC maps, and this is either Muerta East or Sanctuary Island. Now which way is it going to go? Let me know in the comment section down below now, and I'll count from 10 seconds, and let's see if you're right. So we have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sanctuary Island comes in at second. So yeah, congratulations to anybody who got Sanctuary Island at second place. You know, I'll give you a high five. There you go. But the reason why I love Sanctuary Island is because it is flat. It's got a unique shape. It's basically movie canon, similar to Sauna and Nublar, but you know, just because Sanctuary is movie canon, it's really nice to sort of see it. It's got the sand tool, the all-important sand tool, and it is great to build on. What more do you want from an island? Like seriously, it's amazing. It really is amazing, and the way that it's flat, you don't need to flatten stuff. You already can have it flat. Probably need to flatten a few things here and there, but it's not that much. Not that big of a worry. It's movie canon, so we've already seen Sanctuary Island sort of be in the movies. Well, in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, we've only seen like a model structure of it, and I thought that was pretty cool to sort of see it now in a video game, which I thought was amazing. The sand tool just makes your enclosures look so much nicer, just being able to build those beaches, and especially on Sanctuary Island, which doesn't really have any sand until you come off the actual island, buildable island, you can see sand. So it's really nice to sort of add sand, make more uniqueness. And yeah, it's great to build on. Like, what more do you want? It's not too basic and generic. It's a little bit more spacious and like in oval sort of shape, but like also off-cast into somewhere else in both the north and the south of the island. And I love it. Just overall, I really like it, and it's definitely an island that I'll probably go back and play. But as you can tell, the all-important number one, Isla Nublar East. And the reason why I like Isla Nublar East is our first introduction to day and night cycle. We have the sand brush. The bend around the mountain just makes uniqueness incredible. And the blend into the beach, and it's relatively flat. So let's start from relatively flat here. The reason why it's relatively flat is because you don't really have to flatten much. Probably at the start, but if you just use the smooth tool and then you move the path over it and then use the rock terrain to sort of change the colour, you can see that it's an elevation in path or elevation in terrain, and that's what I quite like about it. That's what I think is really incredible. Is that you don't really have to flatten things and it will still go to the way you want. The sort of blend into the beach, so you obviously have the sand brush tool as well as the rock in Isla Nublar East, and there's already a beach that we should be able to build on, to be honest, because of how the terrain is very close to it. But if we use our sand brush tool by that beach, we can then blend the beach into the actual building island, so it looks incredible. So that's a definitely unique sort of building thing to do. The bend around the mountain, so as you can tell, it's sort of like a reversed L shape or a J shape, however you want to say it. And the bend around the mountain, again, just unique ideas, you know, unique enclosures, unique builds, and that's what I like about it. It's not just boring, you know. Sand brush tool again, blending it into the beach, blah blah blah, and the introduction to day and night cycle. So I don't know, I would love to sort of have it in the morning, but I just love the day and night cycle on Isla Nublar East. I don't know what about it, but it's just nice, you know. It's just casual, calm. You see the sun, the sun on the water, the sand. Literally my favorite thing, and I love it. But yeah, so that's my top 10 favourite islands, which are pretty much all 10 islands. Hopefully we do get to see a new Isla Sorna and new Isla Nublar map for this possible 1993 DLC, but we'll have to wait and see till then. Anyway, if you have enjoyed today's video, let me know down in the comment section your thoughts on your rankings, and give me reasons why you would rank them in your order, from 1 being the absolute best and 10 being the worst in your eyes. And if you liked the video and you think I deserve it, make sure to smash that like button, and if you're brand new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, because I bring you daily content of Jurassic World Evolution and also Planet Zoo and any other dinosaur games such as Path of Titans, The Isle, or Prehistoric Kingdom. So yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed. Most importantly, stay safe, have a good day wherever you're watching this from, and just enjoy your life, you know, have a good time. Let's spread some positivity around here. But anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed. Obviously, like, comment and subscribe. Hope you guys had a wonderful day. It's been Swerve, and peace out.